What's going on, everybody? It is October 7th, 2024, and this is The Black Show. All right. So, what's going on, everybody? I hope everybody's having a good start to their week. It's weird how they try to make this day like September 11th to me when it's not. It's not at all. And this episode is probably gonna blow my channel after I just actually got it rolling. So the topic I thought about last night for the day was what is God to you? Like, what do you think it's a higher power? Or do you think that was all BS? And I'm not saying more so the religious gods. I'm just saying, what is God to you? I think I look at this in a little bit different way. Um, for me, someone's God is the thing they're always focused on, and they're always trying to get, and they're always striving for, and they're always trying. It's the only thing that they think about. And I had a talk. It was actually with some people that was close to me about this. I had to semi cut somebody off of this because all they talk about and think about is money, and they have a decent amount of it, and that's all they talk about. All they think about in any situation that comes up is, oh, how much money you gonna make, or how much money is that, or like. And I don't think people. I think so. So let's go. Let's start it here. For me, I don't subscribe to any organized religion. Why? Because religion shouldn't have hierarchy. Or spirituality shouldn't have hierarchy. So when I was a kid, I grew up in a non-denominational church, and I went to a Lutheran school. And especially at the Lutheran school, like I would say, like, the values at Garden Homes helped me like develop for myself as a person, and just invaluable, bro. Like, if you got a kid, and because Mr. Bauer and them are still over there, send them to Garden Homes, man. It's a religious school, but it teaches you morals and character. Like, most of the people that bought into the Garden Homes mentality, I may not care for everybody, like, personally, but everybody has decent character, at least on the surface. So it's not sketchy people. It's not a lot of sketchy people that went to Garden Homes. People that had their own things, but you know what I mean. And then while I was going to school there, I was going to a non-denominational church, Park Assembly of God, with my grandma and my mama, right? And I was probably going every weekend until I got to around like high school time, or like whenever my mom and my grandmama went, pretty much until I went to high school. I think in high school, a lot of stuff changed for me, especially on the spiritual side and like that side. Because when I was at Garden Homes, I would ask our pastor certain questions, um, of things that I was reading as hypocritical to me in the Bible, and no one would ever be able to give me an answer. Um, One of the big questions I have, especially with the Old Testament, the God that they say is the God in the Old Testament, I believe is actually the devil. Um, why? Because they said that the devil is the person that, or Satan is the person, and devil and Satan are two different people. So it's why I feel like organized religion conflated a bunch of shit together purposely to persuade the people to follow their way. That's probably the best way I can say that. And I just can't agree with that, because I look at all of these religions, and like, a religion is essentially, to me, is you're a supremacist. Like, anyone that thinks that you happen to be born and figure out the perfect way, like, that's a level of ego, and like, it's demonic on a level. So a lot of people will look at me because I have strong opinions and think that I don't consider other opinions within my strong opinions. And that's so far from true. And I realize it's a gaslighting tactic of people that are unsure about their opinion of life, or unsure about how they don't have an idea. They don't think about things. So I realized that's what that was. It was, well, how is he so sure? Because they were giving off of this imposter syndrome that they know what they were doing. A lot of pastors, a lot of people that do that That's why, like, even the famous pastors here in my city, like the wannabe mega church, the wannabe DL, or Kenneth Copeland and all of them, their real lives, they're not good people, or they're I don't want to say they're not good people. Their real lives are not living up to what they profess their life is, and that's one thing that I had to like realize with myself. I was like, oh, I have to cut out some of my bad habits, like going out partying and stuff like that, if I'm going to live the life that I want to live. You can't really have both without it being demonic. Like you can have success and a great family and all that stuff, but you really got to live the right way, like every day. You can't be like, okay, I'm gonna do shady shit, but then I'm hiding it, and that's what religion kind of I think put into the system that like, oh, if nobody sees it, I can just apologize to God and I'm good. And that's really not how this whole thing works, in my opinion. Like I say, talk about a lot about how the earth is energy, and we're just energy moving as a ball, and energy can't be deleted or added. It's just movable. When new energy comes, well, no, I think something with this earthquake stuff is happening right now. Is energy coming in? We got new energy coming in, but that's a millennial type of thing. Like it takes a long. We won't be here the next time that happens. Our kids won't be here. But with that energy, it's a reaction to every reaction to an action. So like that's the whole. That's what I look at, like the swastika, yin yang, all of these symbols throughout history. They are saying the same thing. They are saying that you have to have equal parts to be successful. So I'll use myself for an example. Like, do I believe in a higher power? Yes, 100%. Why? Because I've experienced that higher power. Like, I have no doubt because I actually experienced it one on one. And most people have a cutoff. Like, we're so, and that's what modern society is doing to us. Modern society is taking us further and further and further and further away from what the Christians call Christ. And that's a consciousness level of like just doing what you're supposed to do and helping people, and it's kindness. Christ is basically just being a kind person, not a nice person, but a kind person, of being aware of your surroundings, being aware of people's situations, having empathy, having sympathy, have like being a complete person. And like we're stuck on the black side of the yin or the white, whatever you want to say. Like, but we don't have the balance. That's what's happening in like everything. So if I see something happening in multiple different areas of society, I'm like, okay, that's planned or it's being orchestrated. I think it's a little bit of both, but I think the orchestration is the issue with religion, because it's just, if you go back to this Middle East stuff, right? It's all about land. None of this stuff is about actual religion. It's people that control those religions are using those. It's like using those religions to meet the ends of the people that are in power. Like it's like two gang members getting into it because a cop told them to do it. If not, I'm gonna arrest both of y'all, but we need some violence. And people like, that doesn't happen. Yes, it does. Like I realize how brainwashed and like simple American culture is. Where like we really don't understand complex concepts. Like I used to do screening for kids with autism in my last job, right? And in that job, I realized that like the intelligence level of society as a whole, of being able to comprehend complex things, has been taken down dramatically. And I think that's because that school system just is doing its job. That's the thing people don't understand. A lot of these systems that we have, religion, school, they're not failing. They're doing exactly what they were intended to do. Like Planned Parenthood is doing exactly what it's intended to do: kill minority babies. Like the school system is doing exactly what it's supposed to do: dumb people down and make them robots, so that they have the knowledge of how to do stuff, but with no critical thinking ability. And college, on the other hand, is making the protectants, like the people that will go to college, y'all are the protective layer for the people that are doing evil, because they can just tell y'all something that's in a book, and then y'all will try to shame the people because they're dumb. It's a big psychological game being played. And the part that confuses me is that people act like none of this has happened through history, none of this has ever happened. But I realize they just don't know. They don't know that these things have happened. They don't. I could walk around downtown and ask about the Bolshevik Revolution, and I guarantee 99 people wouldn't have a clue what it is. I could ask specific things about World War II, World War One, like what was D-Day, and most majority of people won't know what was the purpose, like what caused World War II, Franz Ferdinand, like they wouldn't know. So I realized it was just dumb. We're dumb, and people are dumb and very ego driven, and that's the worst like combination ever. So let me get back to the main topic of what is your God, or what is God to me. See how I put this in words. To me, God is the balance of how to. Let me go back. For me personally, God is a balance for me. It makes me look at what I'm doing, look at all sides of it, and it's really I really put that into effect in my life in the last like 4 years, where it really it like, and it's caused me to cut a lot of people off because I have a very low tolerance for bullshit. But I think that comes with it. In the grand scheme of this, and I'm gonna cut this one a little early. I think I gotta do some Packers ones. Um, we are all, and this is what they say in all the manual. Like people want to know what's in the Masonic books or like them Illuminati books and stuff. This is the key to all of their teachings, their knowledge. That, and it's hard to explain this, but we are we are all pieces of a whole. So let's say it's the best way to say it. So my hand is God. My fingers are pieces of my hand, right? So this one is getting experience. This one is getting experience. This one's getting experience. This one's getting experience. That one too. The name of the game we playing is getting all the experiences possible so that the source can get the most information. Essentially, God is a nerd that wants to know everything. But to know everything, again, it's with the balance. You got to know the good and the bad. So the people that y'all think are demons and stuff like that, they are also playing a part that they have been chosen to by God. So that's why I say, well, like when people do me wrong, I don't hate them because they're God too. They're a piece of God. They're just a piece of God that's further behind than I am on this journey. So I don't get mad. Like again, I bring up like my ex, my studio stuff, any of this stuff. Like people think I'm upset with them. I'm not upset with nobody. I just don't tolerate. Um, I don't tolerate people in my life that try to push a perception on me. I do not. I do not. Or project things on me. I'll call you out for it right away. So it leads to me not having a ton of friends, but I have really close friends because they're actual friends. And that's the best way I found to weed it out. Because throughout my life, I kept people around me that really didn't have my best interests at mind, like would undermine shit I did, would talk bad to me about other people. Like when I realized that like there's some people on this planet that will just talk bad about you for conversation to other people, and you're the topic of the amusement, I cut that shit out immediately. Like it's basically fuck both of y'all. Cause why are you using me as a play toy? Like I'm not a serious thing. And those people, you could say narcissists, you could say whatever. I don't even care what they are anymore. I'm just not dealing with them. I say they're demonic. And I don't have any qualms about calling people close to me. I'm like, that's demonic as shit, because you don't have to do that with me. You don't. You don't have to do that with nobody, but for sure with me. So don't come at me like that. And I think people are they think that the spiritual side is supposed to be all like, oh, it's love and no, it's not love and acceptance. It's not. It's not. I 100% agree with that. Being spiritual and like really working and trying to prove yourself is actually the opposite of that. It is upholding boundaries when you know something isn't right, because we are in a world that belongs to who? Satan. and it's showing. It's showing. So in this next couple months here before this election, it's gonna be earthquakes. It's gonna be rumors of war. It's gonna be war. It's gonna be stuff coming from the sky. It's we here, y'all. At least I think we here. I might be wrong. I hope I'm wrong. But I think we're here. I think we're here. I honestly like I love doing this podcast in the morning, but I wouldn't be surprised in a month or two if we don't have internet no more, society wise in America. So like I'm here for the fun. I'm enjoying the last month of senior year right now. That's the feeling I have. Like I already know what college I'm going to. I already know my career plan that I want to go on. So I'm just gonna enjoy the last. That's why I'm like I don't trip out too much, man. I lost a whole bunch on that money with that studio, y'all. A whole bunch. I think overall I put like 3 grand into it with equipment and all that stuff. And I got my equipment and all that stuff, but I wasted time, a lot of stuff. And it's been like odd to me how I really just don't. I think about that sometimes, but it's more like I wish this nigga would just pay me my rent October back. But other than that, it's like whatever, bro. I really live in a if it's meant to be, it's supposed to be type thing. And I even my main topics I always talk about y'all is dating. What I realize now is that the path I'm on and the path I'm going, I wish I had a wife, y'all. I wish I had kids. I get jealous of y'all. I get super jealous of, and it's not like it's a not a jealous. It's like a man. I wish I had that type of jealousy, but it is jealousy. When I see y'all with y'all families, I see y'all on the weekends going to games, and I'm like sitting here on the computer working on shit. I'd much rather be doing that. That's the life that I wanted for most of my adult life, but I also realized that I wasn't in a position to sustain that life, and my mission is a little bit different. So and that might not be something that I am awarded to this time around. But that's the most important thing, y'all. It's like having people around you that actually understand you and care about you and care about the things that happen to you and care about the things that like don't happen for you and just general being somebody that cares about people. That's the part that I realize the role I got to play, and I want to play it because I enjoy it, man. I enjoy it. But get ready, y'all. Like y'all see me on my Facebook posting a lot of these survival stuff. Like just keep that in your brain, man, because you might need it. You never know, y'all. Like it's a lot more at stake than people think right now. I don't even know who's fucking fighting for it, but it's a lot more at stake than people think right now, and it's. I think we might see something that we never seen before, y'all. I think it might be soon. I hope not, but I think it might be soon. Um, so on a positive note, the Packers won, so we're gonna do some content on that, y'all. And I don't want y'all to think I'm negative with this stuff. I'm just very realistic, of like, especially with the dating stuff and like all that. I'm very realistic about my life, y'all. Like, I am an extremely hard person to deal with on a one-on-one level in an intimate setting because I do have my like quirks about me. I don't even say that. No, that's bullshit. That's people judge them. I'm not a very hard person to deal with on a one-on-one basis. I'm a hard person to deal with if you're trying to manipulate me. If you're just there and we're just hanging out, then it's probably gonna be the dopest shit ever. But when someone tries to manipulate me, I turn off immediately. I don't get angry. I just disconnect. Like I've got really good at dissociating from people where I don't. That is a trauma. That's not what I'm fixing for right now. I think it's gonna be necessary in this upcoming situation that we got coming. Um, leave this off with pray for those people on the East Coast, man. That's it's that situation is sketchy. Hurricane Helena is sketchy. The Middle East is about to explode. I don't know, y'all. I'm glad most of my boys is no longer in the military anymore, and they aged out of draft age. My OGs, my young G's, kind of avoidable, but for my OGs, I'm glad that they out. It was a conversation I remember like 5 years ago I had with Herman. Herman's out now. But we was talking. I was like, "Hey, bro," I think he was in Poland or somewhere. He was based out there for a little bit. I was like, "Hey, man, be careful out there." I was early on it. Most of the stuff I talk about, I just be early on. But if people look back in these conversations, they're like, "Oh shit, Ken was talking about that." I was like, "Yeah, it's gonna pop off over in Poland, bro." Then the Ukraine war started. So it's not crazy, y'all. Y'all can think that I don't know what I'm talking about. sometimes I don't even know if I know what I'm talking about, but it just starts to end up be kind of coming what I said it is. So either I'm inventing it, which is that's all ego talking, or I'm just tapped into something, which I'm gonna keep talking, man, because that's what I'm supposed to do, y'all. So it's Kenny Kamz, y'all. God bless y'all. Whatever your God is, just hope it don't be money, man. A lot of people God is money. I want to end it on that. If your God is money, money is the most demonic thing on the planet. You're basically Satan. So if you wake up all day, all night thinking about money, you're gonna have a terrible time. It ain't, and it only affects you. That's the part where I'm like, I tell people like, you can feel however you want to, but that only affects you because I'm not accepting your reality. That money is the most important thing on this planet. I'm not accepting that reality. Send it back. You got it. It's Kenny Kamz, y'all. Have a good week. Let's turn it up a little bit for the button. Everybody play the cool. Peace. Go stream some stuff for
when she tell me roll up. 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 Roll up. When she tell me roll up. Roll up. When she tell me roll up. 2, 6, 2, 4, 5. Partners music in the background. Just a nigga from the act and they expected me not to.